Environmental rights activists across the Niger Delta are calling for concerted efforts by government to stem the continued pollution of communities by oil multinationals operating in the area. This form part of concerns expressed as the Ogoni nation marked 30 years after the execution of Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 other Ogoni patriots for demanding environmental justice. The advocates who spoke to Inside the Niger Delta say that instead of considering any resumption of oil production in Ogoni, the federal government should prioritize the cleanup and full remediation of polluted sites in Ogoni land and other impacted communities across the region.
Ken Saro-Wiwa of blessed memory and other Ogoni leaders several years ago championed the struggle for Ogoni liberation through the Ogoni Bill of Rights, which amongst other things demanded political autonomy to manage Ogoni affairs within the Nigerian Federation, as well as environmental protection and full remediation of the damage caused by decades of oil and gas activities. While the Ogoni struggle led to the stoppage of oil production back in 1993, the military government of General Sani Abacha in 1995 tried and convicted Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 others for allegedly masterminding the murder of 4 Ogoni chiefs. Despite global calls against this conviction, they were executed on November 10, 1995, and this year made it exactly 30 years. In commemoration of this execution, environmental rights advocates both in and outside Nigeria re-echoed the call for justice for the Ogoni people and other oil-impacted communities in the Niger Delta.
Now is the time for a complete audit of the environment of the Niger Delta and the health of the people of the Niger Delta, and a commencement of a thorough cleanup, that's remediation, restoration, and reparations for the harms suffered by the people. This is what Ken Saro-Wiwa campaigned for. That's what he died for, and now is the time.
Ogonis has suffered in the hand of Shell. Shell came to our place, took oil for a number of years with nothing to show. Instead, we lost lives.
Ken was killed, and the Nigerians said purposely poured acid on the body, thinking that his memory's legacy would die. It will not die. Because once that memory dies, it means the Niger Delta vision is dead.
Some also expressed concern over moves by the federal government to resume oil production in Ogoni land. Questioning the decision, they say the government should rather focus on the massive environmental damages in Ogoni that are largely unaddressed to this day.
There is not one community in Niger that has benefited from oil that can say we are what we are today because oil was extracted from our community. Ogoni environment is being cleaned up. The cleanup has not gone as far as it should go. We're already having oil spills without new oil wells being opened. So why should anybody think of reopening the oil wells?
Until justice is done to the people of the Niger Delta, until Ken Saro-Wiwa and the 8 Ogonis that were killed are absolved of any offense, and until the Niger Delta is properly cleaned up, and our communities begin to see semblance of wealth that is taken from their land, the Nigerian nation will not benefit.
They are also worried about the wave of divestment by major oil companies leaving behind unresolved legacy issues. These advocates are calling for accountability, a thorough cleanup, and adequate compensation for communities that have continued to bear the brunt of unsustainable oil and gas activities. Some campaigners took their advocacy a step further by calling for a fossil-free Niger Delta, insisting that the oil should be left in the ground while the country transitions to sustainable energy alternatives.
Can anybody point to anywhere in the Niger Delta where extraction is going on, that there is a train station working there is free Wi-Fi in bus stations, and we even have a functional airport that attracts over 20 or 30 international flights in the Niger Delta? The answer is none. So what do we mean by development? How do you characterize development?
These advocates took their campaigns to the recent United Nations Conference of Parties COP30 in Belém, Brazil, where discussions centered on forest protection, climate finance,
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NGN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.